I've been questioning myself lately on whether or not I am an arrogant comic book collector. Well, I just found out the answer. Stay tuned to see what it is. Hey YouTube, it's Matt here. Now, I want to preface what I'm talking about on whether or not I'm asking, am I an arrogant comic book collector? Now, before I even get to that, I want to talk about this channel for say. Now, this channel is really evolving for me. Comic Tome does a great job. He always has these hot lists out there. Gem Mint, same thing, fantastic content. Regie Collects, he's always putting out very thought-provoking videos, things that make you question what is going on in the comic book collection. Why are you a collector? I'm not one of those guys. This channel is evolving into my personal journey through this comic book hobby. I love to have you guys along, and I like to share some of my pitfalls, some of my wins. I've been doing a decent amount of haul videos lately, and I'm going to talk about in a future video exactly how I am going about doing that, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about me being arrogant and how it relates to the comic book hobby in my personal journey. Now, I had to look up the definition of the word arrogance, and here it is from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. An attitude of superiority manifested in an overbearing manner and presumptuous claims or assumptions. Now, whenever I talk about that, I absolutely do not believe that I'm superior to anybody in this world. That's not where I'm coming with this. But I had a presumptuous claim and assumption about my Conan the Barbarian collection. I do a lot of Conan videos. Love Conan. Guys, I am so confident and arrogant. I have every single Conan the Barbarian comic printed by Marvel up until they lost the rights in the early 2000s. I do know I have all of the Dark Horse comics. I do know the few that I am missing. They're not expensive books. I will find those in a while. I'm just having fun with the hunt. If I just wanted to get them, I'd go to eBay and I'd buy them, but it's not about that. I am looking forward to finding them in the wild. It gives me something to look for whenever I'm in a new local comic shop. But I found out that I don't own every single Conan the Barbarian comic book done by I do have by Marvel. Now, there are some newer ones. I have all of the main title of Conan the Barbarian from the new Marvel series. I have all of the Savage Sword of Conan's, not every single variant cover. I might work on that eventually. And I also don't have every Savage Avengers cover, and there's a couple other cover appearances I don't have. Marvel's just been putting them out there way too much. But I found out Dark Horse had a comic book that I have never heard of. I've never seen. Now that I know about it, I am looking for records on it online. Can't find them. You guys can see. I have a lot of comic books back in here. In fact, let me open a drawer. You guys can see this. These are all full of comic books, okay? There's 48 of these drawers, and then, there's more than that even. But they're full of comic books. Every single one of those books is cataloged in an electronic database. This comic book that I was told about, I can't find it. I can't find it anywhere. I'm looking on eBay. I'm looking on electronic databases. I am trying to find a record of this book. It doesn't exist. It is a completely new book. Never knew it was out there. Some of you guys might have seen this. Some of you might have heard it. I can't find this anywhere. Anyhow, friend of mine, Noah Zemke, he ended up reaching out to me on Discord a couple weeks ago. And he goes, "Hey, Matt, I was going through my collection and I came across this book." He goes, "You interested?" Absolutely, I'm interested, okay? So he basically gave it to me. He asked me to cover shipping. Awesome person. Thank you, Noah. But what he sent was an ash can copy, Conan the Barbarian, The Sword of the Cimmerian. Now, you can tell this is a tiny book. This book is a reprint of Conan the Barbarian, and I might have to take pictures. But Conan the Barbarian #1, I end up having another reprint copy of Conan the Barbarian #1, and it was literally randomly there. But this is the same book. Okay, so this is really cool that there is an ash can copy out there. Now, Noah, I'm super grateful you sent it to me. You gave me, he absolutely made my day as a comic book collector because I didn't know that book existed. Now I'm going to bring this back into my arrogance. I was shopping with good friends, Doug and Dave Bratton. We were in an LCS. And they know that I'm a Conan guy. And they were looking for books and they kept coming across these Conan books. And I knew how I was coming across, and I don't mean to be like that, but what was going on was Dave was asking me, hey, here's a Conan book. Do you have this? And I'm like, yeah. Do you have this? Yeah. Eventually, he started saying, I'm sure you have this one too. And I felt, I knew I wasn't being a jerk. I knew that wasn't the case, but there was a small part of me like, man, he's trying to find you a book and you have every single book. Well, you know what? Arrogant Matt Woods, no, you don't have every single Conan book. I don't know. Are there more out there that I have no idea about? And whenever I say I have every Conan book, guys, you don't understand. If it was in a magazine form, I have it. If it was a one-shot, I have it. If it is an appearance that isn't named Conan, but it surely looks like Conan, and it was written by Roy Thomas and drawn by Barry Windsor Smith, yeah, I have it. I have Star the Slayer, okay? I have that book, Chambers of Darkness #4, if any of you guys don't know. But I obviously don't. Maybe there's a book out there that I don't know about, like this one, that I don't have. Now, there are a lot of Ablaze, the Cimmerians. I have every issue. I have them all. I have most of the covers, but guys, they are literally putting out like 1s and 20s and 1s and 50 variant covers, negative covers. Honestly, they are putting out about 20 different covers per book, and you don't even know about them. I actually decided to stop trying to collect every single cover of the Ablaze whenever there was a store exclusive variant, and it was at a comic shop. There were 2 of them. I went to buy them. Now, they aren't special comic books. They are just straight up, variant covers, not exclusive. They shouldn't be worth a whole lot. In order for me to buy these 2, with the shipping, it was going to cost me over $80. I said, no, I'm not paying $80 for 2 comic books that aren't worth $4, okay? So, no longer am I going to try to have every single Conan the Barbarian, across the line cover. It's just too hard. I can't do it anymore. And some of these covers that they're coming out with, Ablaze, they don't even publicize them. There's not a list that you can go look, oh, hey, they have 20 different covers. No. You're basically going through and just looking, finding them, just by researching and, refreshing the Google search machine. So, don't have them all, but this thing is really cool. I've never heard of this thing, like I said. This was printed in 2008. Such a cool little book. I mean, honestly, the art is awesome. It's a Barry Windsor Smith. This is one of the inside panels from Conan the Barbarian #1. Great book. I mean, I actually love this book. In fact, one of my previous videos, I did a retelling of that comic book. I kind of like it. It keeps growing over time, meaning more people watch it. It's a slow burner. But this hobby, guys, is so vast that us as collectors, we can't be arrogant. And what I mean by that is there's always something new to learn. There's always a character that you haven't read about that's going to be introduced into a new book. There's something that you don't know, and you can't be judging people. Oh, you don't know that character? Guys, I've literally been in an LCS before. And I've read a lot of books. I mean, thousands and thousands of comic books. I don't even remember all the books that I've read. I can't begin to tell you all these stories. I had somebody ask me a question about Mephisto one time. Guys, I know of Mephisto. I know that his first appearance was Silver Surfer #3. I know so much about Mephisto. But the only time I ever read anything about Mephisto was in Spider-Man's story One More Day. That's it. That's all I know about Mephisto, okay? I guess he's a devil character type of thing. I had somebody in LCS, oh, you don't know about Mephisto? And they looked at me like I was, I don't know how to put it, like I was less than human, okay? Like, how this guy thinks he knows everything. He doesn't know about Mephisto. Guys, I don't know about a lot of stuff, okay? I'm willing to admit that. I am now willing to admit one more thing. I don't own every Conan comic book out there because you never know. There might be something else out there. From what I'm gathering, Ash Can variants are a lot of promotional, things. Maybe this was at a con. It was a free handout. I have to research this. I have to find out what this book is, where it was given out. I have no idea, okay? But there may be something out there in this collection that you don't know about. And there are a lot of things. I talked to a friend recently who collected back in the 1970s, getting back into the hobby. He didn't know what CGC was. Not a big deal, okay? Like I said, he hasn't been collecting since the 70s. They didn't have CGC. CGC came out in the year 2000. So, is he a bad collector because he doesn't know about CGC? No, not at all, okay? This is something new. And there are new collectors that come into the hobby and they hear these things about slabbing. They don't know anything about it. Guys, you don't even have to slab. I mean, who cares about that? But it's definitely becoming an aspect of the hobby. Guys, I have a press. I think you can see the very edge of it, okay? Right there in the corner or the side. I didn't know that pressing was a thing. This is something that I just started within, it was the year 2020. A new part of this hobby. And it's such a fun part of this hobby. Never heard of it before. You keep on learning stuff. You keep on expanding how you collect. Have fun with this. But guys, we can never be arrogant comic book collectors if you're a smart collector, because there's always something to learn. And guys, some days we are humbled, and I get humbled on a daily basis in this hobby. That's a good thing, okay? Because that means you're still learning, okay? So, guys, I hope you like the content of this channel. I hope you like this video. If you do, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and put a comment down below. Guys, I want to thank you for watching, and everybody have a great day.